All right, are we ready for reading?
Yeah.
Good. Who can tell me what we were learning about yesterday? Whisper it to your friend next to you.
I don't know.
If you don't know, listen to a friend. See if they can tell you.
Why was it here yesterday?
Okay, sit down. We'll talk about it. Hey, Daphne, tell Riker what we were learning. Fairy tales. Everyone say that.
Fairy tales.
Okay, we watched a video yesterday, a read aloud book called The Poisoned Apple. Remember? Okay, whisper to your friend who you think that book was similar to. What fairy tale it was similar to. Oh, I hear lots of answers. Okay. McKenna, who was it about? Snow White. Okay.
What about Red Riding Hood?
We're not talking about Red Riding Hood, are we? Who are we talking about, guys?
Snow.
And the poison apple. Okay, remember that. That's what we're learning about. And Snow White is a fairy tale. So, remember how we talked about 3 elements of a fairy tale? Remember those elements? So whisper to your friend if you can remember 3 of them. Whisper to your friend. About what those 3 elements are. Remember one. Okay, Reiko, what's one? Good versus evil. He got one right. What's another one?
Royalty.
Royalty. What's royalty again?
Something like fancy, like this is a fancy one. She's a princess.
Princess.
Magic. Lessons.
Lessons.
There's
Raise
magic.
your hand, Gavin.
Magic.
Like good versus evil.
Good versus evil. Bentley.
Sometimes talking animals.
Sometimes talking animals.
Magic.
Magic. Do you have any others? Sometimes they start with once upon a time.
Or the cover could be Once Upon a Time because
Yeah, I know
they
one
show
more.
Colin Upon a
That's
Time.
true. And that's about fairy tales.
Sometimes, not all of it. They like one who was guilt, guilt, then, not Snow White. Oh yeah, Snow White. I know what's in the one.
They're all
Yeah,
fairy tales. aren't they?
I've seen it Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, good
I
job.
haven't
You're
seen
thinking
all
on
of
that.
them, so if I
Quentin.
can remember it, I got or
Numbers 3 or 7.
Then they use
Okay, guys, look up here
What's
now.
magic?
We're going to talk about fractured fairy tales. What do you think fractured might mean? Diana, you think you might know what fractured means? When you fracture your arm, it might hurt. What do you think? Making a change. When you break your arm, it's not the same.
This has fractured in it. She fell off the tree and got hurt.
What do you think fractured means?
Maybe like not real.
Not real. Well, this is what it says. Fractured fairy tales involve the author making a change or character setting or major events. The purpose of the change is usually to add humor. How many of you thought the poison apple was kind of funny? Some of you thought it was funny?
Like when the witch was over.
So that's what they do with fractured fairy tales. They try and make it sillier, okay?
It's scary.
Well, I thought today that we could compare and contrast the real Snow White to the poisoned apple. So while I'm telling the story, I want you guys to be thinking, how does Snow White, the real Snow White story, compare to the poisoned apple story? All right? Okay. What is the plot twist in this fairy tale compared to Snow White? Whisper it to a friend. Whisper to a friend. What do you think was the plot twist? What was the difference? Okay, who wants to share their ideas about the plot twist? Henry. Henry's gonna tell us. Okay, hold on. Boys, Coleman. Coleman. Somebody's talking. Go ahead, Henry.
Ended up at the witch and she ate it.
Okay, instead of her eating it, the witch ate it. Okay, now make this connection. Think about when the witch gave her the apple. When she went to go see the dwarfs, what was she bringing the dwarfs? Food, right? So she was what? What was she doing?
Eating the door.
She was handing out food.
And
And so what'd she do with the apple?
the sixth dwarf got the apple.
Yeah, so she gave it away because she was being what? Nice, right?
There's
Well,
grumpy on Snow
When the dwarf had the apple and he was about to take a bite, what did he see next?
The
The animals were hungry. And so he gave it to the animals. And then what did the animals see? The babies were hungry. And so then they felt bad. And so they gave the apple away. So what is this representing when we're sharing things? How are we acting?
So we're acting
Kind, nice. Are we being selfish or unselfish?
unselfish.
Yeah, so be thinking in your mind how you share your things with your friends, right? Be thinking about that, how you can be kind, right? All right. So tell me one more altered element that happened besides the witch dying. What else happened that was a little different? So when we're thinking about comparing the story, we can think about different things, right? We can think about how the animals were selfish, how they shared. It didn't really talk about that in the other book, did it? About the animals sharing. So here they're talking about sharing. We can compare that the witch died instead of Snow White dying, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you one of these papers to do, and you're going to write down an original thing that happened in Snow White and compare it to what happened in the poisoned apple. So you're comparing how it's different, how they changed it. Okay, just like what we talked about, how there were changes, right? Okay, let's go over a couple of our vocabulary words, okay? In the book, they use the word detest. So detest means to have a strong dislike for or hate. So who detested Snow White? The witch. Tireless. Tireless means having great energy, not easily tired. So tireless means you're not tired. You just keep going and going and going, okay? All right. And we went over fractured fairy tales. That means they make changes for it to be a little funnier. So you could think about, well, it was kind of funny that the witch died, huh?
That was
Instead of Snow White dying. All right.